Hello, I'm NeoGet, and welcome to Quarries of Scred. Now, this is a lovely little game that I've spent much of the afternoon playing, and still haven't got any better at it. I'm terrible at this game. It's got quite the high difficulty, and not really any explanations immediately obvious, much in the sort of style of the games it appears to be based upon. I remember playing many games like this as a kid, and they were equally as unforgiving and really actually very fun for that. Now, one of the main options you'll want to pay attention to when you hit the main screen is the one where it says press H for the difficulty. I'm playing it on easy because even on easy I make a lot of silly mistakes that affect how quickly I die. Hard is very much so will look the same, but things like gravity are much quicker, much more likely to kill you with the falling blocks, and so it's quite difficult. And then the other main one you want to pay attention to is the G for graphics. There's quite a lot of options. If I just quickly scroll through them for you, you can see there's lots of different changes for how you want your game to look. It's best to pay attention to the logo for what you want the appearance of the game to be like for you, and I'm going to play it on this one. Now, the text is a little harder to read here, but that's really pretty irrelevant when you actually get into the game. So if we hit enter, we'll join the game, and all the main things you need to know are over on the right hand side. Things on the left you don't need to actually watch that often. The appearance of the little guy at the top there, the green guy that I'm moving, he changes with each different pack you choose, as well as the appearance of all these buildings. Now, this one lets you sell dirt at. Here we're selling it for 1 credit per stack. As you play, every seed has a different number of credits per stack that you'll get for different things. So sometimes you will actually hit one where there's a 0. This one lets you buy extra lives. They cost 5,000, which is quite a lot, unfortunately. And then here you have one that lets you sell the gems. Those are the @ symbols. Well, I'm not sure if they're @ symbols. They sort of look like @ symbols to me. They might just be targets. Not near enough my monitor to actually be able to see them completely clearly, which is completely a flaw of how far I am from my monitor right now. And then the red circles are worth more than the blue circles. Something to pay attention to. Now, as you mine, it's literally just a case of walking into blocks, and they will be mined. You'll move into the square, pick up anything that was there. Now, this blue stuff cannot be mined through with basic mining ability. You need to upgrade your tools in order to be able to get through that. There's a shop further over. If I start heading all the way over to the left, oh yes, avoid that floating pink thing. That will kill you. Here we go. This shop sells a laser, which will let you shoot through that stone. You need a battery for every time you shoot the laser. This one sells some sort of mines. I haven't actually used a mine yet. I keep dying before I've got enough money to do anything other than buy the laser. So I'm not sure exactly what that looks like when used. And then here is the teleporter, which you need to be able to purchase in order to actually complete the seed. So that's your level complete. And each of the screens has another quarry on it. So you have 4 different options when you start. Now, that pink thing I've just picked up is a battery. So that will power the laser when I get it. But I need to purchase a lot more of the... mine a lot more of the gems before I can do that. So I will just keep exploring as I can. Now, unfortunately, this seed hasn't been the kindest to me, and there's quite a lot of difficulty in the starting quarries here. So if I just quickly go over and see if I can do much with this one instead. And you've got to be very careful anytime you get lower than a rock that's on an edge. If I take out that one, you'll see I can cause a landslide, which is a bit of a problem. These ones, because there's only actually 1 layer height-wise of rock here, they won't automatically just start falling on their own. but things where it's too high and beyond will start falling. Now, that's different if you're playing on hard. On hard, it will fall there. So here, I'm okay. I'll go up, it will collapse. That's not a problem. If I was playing on hard, that would have killed me. And if I'd gone down one more layer, it would have collapsed and been a problem. Now, one of the things of note is the fact that that move I just did there, where you let gravity drop the gem and then you move in, only really doable on easy. You try it on hard and it'll just crush your skull. Found that one out the hard way. And so, great technique when you're playing on this level, but don't let it become habit if you're planning on upping the difficulty later, because it really will be something you regret doing in later difficulties. So we can head down, and so long as there's always a block below the stuff, we're okay. Now I can't go one lower because that will cause the landslide on top of me. And here, if I mine out the next one down and then get out the way, you can cause a slide from partway up. It just has to be that there is a height of the two stones above you. So as you can see, not a lot more I can do here without getting into quite a bit of trouble. But let's just carefully do that, and then we can shove that out the way just for now. So we'll come back here with the laser if we survive any length. But what we want to do is now head down in this quarry. Get that. As you saw then, the things I collapsed destroyed a couple of gems. Now you can see here, just over to the left of me, there's that pink shape that's like the one that was moving on the screen to the right. If I take out something to the left or right of it, it will start patrolling left and right as far as it can. So, got to be very careful not to free that in a way that will let it attack me. Landslide killed me. So, that's the end of that guy. You get a replay now of how you did. Well, what you did to kill yourself. So if you're not entirely sure what killed you, you can watch this. It slowly flicks through your last few moves. And as you can see there, now I'm dead. That pink thing has been freed and is patrolling. So it's unfortunate, but that's the way every single attempt at this ends, is me doing something silly and getting killed. And so you need to take advantage of the ability to move things around in order to get deeper into these mines and do things, but you do have to be careful while doing that you're not going to collapse everything on your head, and you've got to be careful that you're not taking things from next to something that's likely to start falling because you've done it, as that's a surefire way to kill yourself in this game. And so, just got to pay a lot of attention to what you're doing. You can't press and hold a movement button to keep moving repeatedly in a direction, which initially can feel slightly annoying, but then as you play and realise just how often you might actually be saved by the fact that it doesn't just let you hold and move, because so many things would fall down on you if you'd kept moving, then you start to become sort of grateful for the way that's set up. You know, there we go, try and run away from that. As I say, this running away stuff is only really doable because I'm on easy. If I up the difficulty, suddenly things are going to get a lot worse. So let me just sell off these things and head over and sell off the gems I've got. There we go. And then if I hit escape, you can change the difficulty setting partway through the game. So if I hit D, the difficulty has now gone to hard. Escape again returns to the game. So now things are much more likely to kill me. I'll see if I can find anything to sort of demonstrate that. Unfortunately, the way I've been very careful on this one, there we go, that fell when a lot quicker than you'd have seen it before. So I'll see if I can send other things. There we go. As you can see, they're moving a hell of a lot quicker. Much easier to die now from this. So have to be a lot more aware of what I'm up to. So let's just keep going. I'm not sure. Have I got any batteries? Yes, I've got a couple of batteries. There we go. So we've got 3 batteries and we've got the laser. So now we can clear some of the blockages. Let me actually set it back to easy for now, just to sort of increase the likelihood that I'll be able to reach a blockage and actually show you what the laser's like. So say I wanted to use it here. You just hit L and it asks you to pick a direction. By direction it means left or right. So you pick your direction, it fires, gravity then will do its thing. As in that case, it destroyed the gem. So, got to be aware of that. It's not a sort of free run. It doesn't let things hover when they wouldn't have done before. The moment you make a move in this game, gravity will do its thing and result in your death frequently. So, that seems... I think that's about everything to cover. You can see right down the bottom of this quarry, there's actually a second screen of it. Now, there's not a chance that I will ever make it that far down to get to that, but if you do make it that far, you can then keep going deeper. Of course, then you've got to be very careful on your way back out of the quarry again, not to get yourself killed, and do not go under that block because that will kill you. Sorry, I have a frequent habit of approaching blocks and then very nearly sending myself under them to my death. Something I've got to really get out the habit of. So there we go, got a few more things. We can now go sell this on. So if we head back over to the gem shop, we can sell it on. And then eventually we'll hopefully get the 7,500 we need to purchase the teleport pass and leave. I'm not sure what happens when you do that, as I've never made it that high in money, but as I'm going to be playing this game quite a lot, I'm sure I'll eventually work it out, but probably not before this video goes up, so it may end up being an annotation later on, some weeks after the game has been released. Not really, the video has been released, sorry, the game's out, which will let you see. Now, this game is available on itch.io. It's about $3 Australian, I believe, and is really worth getting. You just lose so many hours into this game because it's so unforgiving of mistakes that it's always just one more attempt, you know, that you just really will this time succeed at getting through the quarry, and so you just end up with an awful lot of deaths under your name. So I'm going to flick the colours onto something a little easier to read and let the credits run as this video now just winds down. And so I really hope you will check it out, support the developer, support games that are as unforgiving, as far too many games these days don't have the instant kill mechanic that I really love. You know, so fingers crossed you'll enjoy it as much as I do. It's mentioning several other very good games and developing groups at the moment. Really, really worth checking out those as well. Several of them will appear on this channel in the future. And so stay tuned for that. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.